Okay guys, so we're going to go ahead and start coding this. So we're going to go onto the code section. We're going to go ahead and go to the yellow events tab, and we're going to start with a when I receive. Now this part is important. So if you guys only were able to do the introduction screen, then you're going to start it with play game. If you guys were able to do the character select, so you have these two pieces here, then you're going to do start game. Since I have these two pieces here, I'm just going to use the start game. But remember, if you only did the introduction screen, you want to use the play game. So now that I have this, the next thing I want to do is go into looks. I'm going to go ahead and add a hide. And then I'm going to go into variables, and I'm going to set my score to 0. This way I can still see my score that I had before until I actually enter the game and it gets restarted. Okay, so next we want to go ahead and create a clone for this. So I'm going to go into control. I'm going to add a when I start as a clone, and when it does, we want to go ahead and let it show. We're going to add a set size, which we can come back and change the size of it once we start playing our game. Then I want to make sure that's on top of my player, so I'm going to go ahead and add a go to player, and then I want it to also point towards where I'm trying to shoot, so I'm going to add a point towards mouse pointer. Okay. After that, I'm going to go into control and add a repeat until. And the idea of this repeat until is it's going to continue moving until it either reaches the edge or it destroys one of the enemies. So because of that, we're going to go into operators, and we're going to add an OR. Then we're going to go into sensing, and we're going to add 2 touching, one on each side. The first one is going to be to the edge, and then the second one is going to be to our enemy. Now, if you guys have more than one enemy, so for example, I have 2 enemies, that means that I'll have to add another OR. So all I need to do is go into operators, go into OR, add 1 to one side. So now I'm able to make it just a little bit longer. Add it back in here, go back into sensing, and then add another touching mouse pointer and make this for my enemy too. Once I'm done with that inside of it, we're going to go ahead and go into the blue motions tab. We're going to add a move. Instead of 10 steps, we're going to make it 20. If you guys want to change the speed of the bullet, this is where you guys want to play around with this number. If you guys want to make it faster or slower, so it's kind of up to you. And then underneath this, we're going to go ahead and go back into control and add a delete this clone. So it's always good to test out your game. So you can click on the green flag, click on play, select the player. It's going to show like beginning. It's going to start off by showing the bullet at first, but then it will adjust itself. So the next thing that we want to go ahead and do is click on the both enemy sprites that you guys have. We want to come back here in order to change it. So if you guys remember, this score, this block of code right here, wasn't able to activate unless we were able to actually come in contact with the bullet. But now that we have it, we can go ahead and do that. So we're going to go into sensing, add a touching, and we're going to change this to bullet now that we have it. And you want to do that to all the enemies that you have. Okay. So now that I've done that to every one of my enemies, the next thing that I want to go ahead and do is go into the player. Okay. So in this block of code here, if you guys remember, this is where our clone is supposed to actually activate for our bullet sprite. So on top of the wait, because this is supposed to be the buffer, which just means it kind of waits before the next bullet shoots, we're going to go into control and we're going to add a create clone of myself, and we're going to change this to bullet. Okay. This is where you guys may want to change the amount of bullets that you can shoot in between. So you'll shoot, wait 0.2 seconds, and then shoot again. If you guys want to adjust it and change it, this is where you guys want to do that.